Here's some more games that I like playing. This is from 20 to 11. And these are games which your average Joe will play, like me. Like Steve the Pirate as well. He'll play them as well. These are games which are put in order of what I would prefer to play. Now, a lot of these games on this list are familiar games. Yeah, they're familiar, but they're family games. That's the word I was trying to look for. They're family games because those are the type of games which are easy to get out and play. You know, you haven't got to get organised 3 months in advance with your best mate to play 7-hour game of some battle thing called Battleships. But yeah, this is my list of my games that I prefer, and these are the games that I enjoy playing a lot because they are games which are really replayable, really fun, really challenging, and when you've got the right group, they are fantastic and they really shine. So I'll start blabbering because Steve the Pirate's behind the camera and he's giving me that sign. So see you on the other side of flipping. So let's crack on with my number 20 because time is fleeting and madness is starting to take control. And I'm going to jump to the left. No, my number 20 is a game which just goes down everywhere really well. It doesn't matter if you're a gamer or a non-gamer, you will play this game. It will not matter if you are actually involved in the game, you will be spectating and commentating and backseat driving and quarterback chairing, whatever it is. The game is this lovely one called Timeline, which comes in a variety of flavours. You can have a timeline about history, you can have timeline about inventions, you can have timeline about music and cinema, you can have timeline about sporting events, timeline about everything. Timeline is just a really simple card game where each player has a hand of cards and they've just got to get rid of them by placing them into a chronological order, as I saw spit fly through the air. It's lucky you ain't got your 3D glasses on. And it's as simple as that. This game just goes down everywhere. You can play this with anybody, apart from young children who don't understand when Jesus was born. But I'm going to squeeze this in as well, card line, which is the same thing, but you're putting things in order of size, weight, mass, or countries, or like the Globetrotter version, or in the dinosaur one. So I can't say anything more apart from the fact that I'm looking forward to getting Timeline Challenge, which turns it into a bit of a game show a bit more. So my number 20, Timeline. My number 19 be a game which involves hooks and treasure. Lots of treasure. Yeah. Jamaica. My number 19. This game is a fantastic family game which comes with one of these beautiful inserts and everything fits in nicely. And it's a racing game with the difference. It's a racing game where you're playing cards which denote your actions that you're going to do in the day and the evening, depending on what dice are rolled. And you're just racing around an island and paying your crew food and fighting other pirates and taking treasure, and this is just such a fun game. It doesn't matter how many times I play it, I'll always come back and want to play it again in a different way, because it's not linear. It is linear because it's a race, but at the same time it's not linear in the theme and what the things you do. It's just fantastic. It's fantastically produced. I mean, look, the box even looks like a treasure chest. There's a padlock there, and everything is just masterly made, beautiful artwork. It's a beautiful game, and it's a game which everyone should have in their collection. Yes, 19, Jamaica. Jamaica, man. That's a very bad accent, man. Number 18, must be with a posh, suave accent, is a game. No, there's no getting around it. Ticket to Ride is my number 18. This is a classic It is classic now, even though it came out in 2006, I think. Yeah, it is a classic board game, and this is just, again, the repetitiveness of, you know, just doing the same thing over and over again never gets boring with this game, because you can do so many different things, and especially with all the expansions which are out, sorry, they're not coming out, but they are out, of the different maps that you can play on. You've also got the dinosaur Alvin and Dexter. That's interesting as well. It's just a neat little expansion to this game. This game is brilliant. I don't know why you should have guessed this is on my list. This is just evident fun, and I must do a video review of it as well sometime, because there are people that still don't know what Ticket to Ride is apart from a Beatles song. Today I'm going to be sad. Now, I am not the kind of person that likes kissing people's butts. But my number 17 is a game which, I don't know, I kind of fell in love with more because of it kind of felt like my type of game. A game where you take on a role and you pretend and have a laugh. And my good friend Berkey has taken this role extremely to the extremes. And he has become the Sheriff of Nottingham. This game is such a hoot. It is really a fantastic, and again, I'm not kissing Tom's behind either, because it's a Dice Towers essential, but thank you, Tom, for bringing this game back into print, so to speak. From ever since I watched like the 24-hour Dice Tower event where they played Robin Hood, I kind of fell in love with the idea of the game of lying to people about something really stupid, like how many chickens are in their bag, or how many portions of cheese they've got, and then trying to sneak it past a really disgruntled sheriff. The whole idea about lying and bluffing is kind of not my cup of tea, because I'm not very good at lying, and that's why I never lie. And even if you don't lie, you can still win this game. But if you do lie, you're going to have to lie really well to get those illegal items past the sheriff. And it's just fun. You've got to play this game with the right group. You can't just play this with Grandmere Biggins and your pet dog, because they're not going to get it. It's just a simple case of lying about what you put into a bag, and then claiming the rewards and bribing, and there's lots of communication in this game, and that's why I love this game. This is another one which I need to do a review on, because I love it so much. It's high on my ratings list, and it's a game that I can't get enough of, and my daughter, I've just realised, is the best liar in the world. She always seems to win and lie. Sheriff Nottingham. Another game, number 16. This game doesn't get a lot of love, which it should get. Okay, I like to put my bits and pieces in here because it just makes the flow of packing the game away easier. But it's another game, my number 16. It's another game which kind of gives me that kind of quiz show, not quiz show, but game show feeling. There was many TV shows when I was back in England. There's one called Scrap Heap Challenge, where they had to build a vehicle to do a specific task, whether it be traverse water and pick up something, or whether it had to climb a tree or whatever. And they had to use, I was going to say a dirty word there, but they were going to have to use stuff that they found in the junkyard. And I found a game which does that, and you're building spaceships out of scrap. Galaxy Truckers, yes. This game is a laugh and a half. I don't understand why people don't like it. That's the thing which bugs me. A lot of people don't like this. My wife doesn't like this. But it is just a good time. You don't take the game seriously. You're building a spaceship out of scrap parts. You're taking tiles at random from a pile and looking at them and see if you can add them to your spaceship. And then you have to float it off downstream and see if it survives. And that's the game, basically. And I just love it because, as I said, it gives me this game show feel. And I've always wanted to be on a game show and be that contestant who slips over and ends up with, you know, stuff all over him, slime and goop. Yeah, but anywho, number 16, a great family party style game, Galaxy Truckers. Okay, are we on? Yeah, have we squeezed in? Okay, yeah. Hi Chappets, sorry to have to do this to you, but it wasn't till after I'd spent a week writing out the lists and making these lists for these videos, and then filming these videos, and then editing these videos, and then uploading all of these videos onto YouTube, which it all takes time. It wasn't until I'd finished that I realised that I'd missed a game. Now you're probably asking yourself, oh, it's not really, you're cheating, Barry, you're cheating. Well, I am technically kind of cheating, but there's no other way for me to do this, so I have to squeeze this game in at like 15 and a half. You could just like move everything up one and then have to refilm everything, but that takes too much time. But the game I'm going to talk about is, the game that we're squeezing in here is New York 1901. Now why did I miss it? Number one, it's not on my shelf looking at me, staring at me every day. And number two, it's not listed as a game that I own on Board Game Geek. So therefore, I kind of forgot its existence. But that doesn't mean that it is a bad game. That's why it's in between number 15 and number 16 here. It is a game about building skyscrapers. And it's very, very simple mechanics of taking a plot of land and either reserving it with a worker or building on it with one of your buildings. And then there's the whole puzzle aspect of these Tetris pieces and squeezing them into zones, and then there's the different ways of getting bonus points, either by connecting to roads or by looking at the random final scoring method. This game is just such a delight to play because it's so easy and it's so colourful. And why is it higher than Ticket to Ride? Well, because Ticket to Ride does have lots of expansions, it expands the life, and it's possibly because New York is new and fresh and feels fresh, and it just feels better, and it's a game that I would prefer to get to the table and teach people that game than Ticket to Ride. So, sorry about this, guys. So my number 15 and a half, or number 16 if you get rid of number 50, is New York 1901. Do you want to? Thank you. My number 15 is a game which frightens me that it doesn't have the respect that it deserves. It's a game which kind of feels like roll and move. Yes, okay, but it is roll and move. It is a roll and move game. But the rules are so simple, and the theme somehow manages to emerge like a zombie from a grave. It can only be Last Night on Earth. This game, as venom mechanics as they are, rolling dice, moving, playing cards, picking up cards, it just encapsulates a very early 1960s, 1970s zombie movie, but more for me the 1980s horror films, where you have a situation, you have your character, you have a mission to do to survive, you have to avoid the zombies because they are pretty much dangerous. They can walk through walls. It's like Michael Jackson's Thriller in a box without the singing. Although you can put the musical CD on, and of course I'd be nowhere if I didn't plug my album Last Night, so go and pick that up please, because it goes really well with this game. And what else can I say? This game is just a great game. It gives me that old school Dungeons and Dragons where it's one player versus the others. It doesn't work too well when you play two zombie players against the others, but for me, having one against 4 heroes or maybe 5 heroes is a great experience, and there's lots of expansions and there's lots of scenarios, and it's a modular board, and it's very light, but it captures the theme. I fall deeply into the theme of I'm in a horror film, help me out, or I'm gonna eat you, trip over that leaf and lose the keys. But it's all in this box. Last Night on Earth, my number 15. My number 14 takes me back to my managerial days, where I used to love just controlling people and allocating jobs and making sure this was done and that was done, and you'll probably find on this list there's quite a few worker placement games, because worker placement gives me that kind of feel of a manager, so to speak. And squeaky table, this is one of those games which I really adore. It's a recent addition to my collection, but it's already a very, very popular game, and it is L'Âge de Pierre, Jean-Claude Pierre. Stone Age, if you didn't recognise the artwork. This is a very simple worker placement game where you have a tribe of cavemen and you have to get as many points as possible. Yes, it's really number calculating, working out if you got those cards multiplied by the number of men you have, or those cards multiplied by the number of huts that you have. It is a fun resource allocation. You're going out and you're sending 6 people to go and get wood, or you're sending 2 people to go and get gold. That's a stupid thing to do. And then you're just trying to build huts and acquire cards and make your tribe bigger and get food, and it's all in here, and it fits really, really well. It's just light. The components are wonderful in this. You know, you don't have to pimp this game out at all unless you want to rip some clothes and build yourself a club. Everything is in this game, and it works smoothly as a base game on its own. I haven't got the expansion. I might not even bother with the expansion because the game is just so great as it is. That's my number, Captain Caveman 14. Now, my number 13 is a shock to me. I was very surprised that when I did my list, and I go, would I play this game or would I play that game? I would actually play that game over this game. I would play it over this game as well. And I was very surprised that an abstract game would get so high on my list. Also, I was quite surprised that, because I was never really good at Scrabble. I'm still no good at Scrabble and I can't spell. But somehow Qwirkle got on my list because it's Qwirklicious. It's a really, really simple game. It's a fun game. Don't be put off by the fact that it looks like something that kids would play. This is a really thinky people. This is a thinky game for people of all ages. I mean, we've played this with people that are 70 plus, and they get the concept and they understand the game and they love it. And then they play it again. They say, "You want to play again?" Oh, sorry, they say, "Oh, would you like to play it again, sonny boy?" But it's Scrabble with shapes and colours, and it is just fun. I mean, I don't know if there's any real good strategy to the game, but I love playing this game. It's just simple, it's quick, you don't even need the box, you can just carry around the bag, and you're done. Great game. My number 13, Qwirkle. My number 12 takes me back to my Choose Your Own Adventure days, and it's a board game which kind of does the same thing but without lots of reading. But at the same time there is lots of reading, but at the same time there's not lots of reading and page shuffling. But there is dice rolling, and there is monsters, and you're just trying to overcome this great big thing trying to come through a portal. It is Arkham Horror. Yes. Now, you don't have to buy everything Arkham Horror to play this game. You could just buy the base game and I would say probably buy the Dunwich Horror expansion. You don't need all of these. I still haven't played with all these little expansions and bits and bobs in it because there's never a time. This game is long, but that's not a bad thing because the wife and I, we love a Sunday afternoon when it's raining and we've done house chores and everything's spotless and ding, like in all commercials. We get this out on the big table and we spend a good 5 to 8 hours playing this, eating, talking, and it's not the same when the cards are read to you in a French accent, when you mispronounce a gross word. It doesn't work for me, but we have such great fun playing this game. This game I play primarily on my own. I'll set up on this table and I have split personality. I have a great time telling this long narrative of how this one character has bought this item at this shop before being attacked there, and then going over here and finding their lost friend who comes and helps them, and then they go through a portal into another world. This game is just so it just feels thick and creamy, like a nice white wine sauce over your veal. It's a wonderful game. Has it been replaced by the new version, the Eldritch Horror? I don't know. I'm still seeing that they're still printing this. They're still printing this. So I think this is going to be around because it gives a different flavour to the Eldritch. The Eldritch Horror is streamlined and it's around the world, whereas this is just in Arkham City itself. This is a game which I don't think is ever going to be replaced, even if there was a 6th edition. Well, it might be replaced by a 6th edition, especially if it had like a narrating app. Yes, but anyway, I'm babbling now about my affiliation with this fantastic game, which is fantastic. My number 12. Tentacles. And to wrap up this video, my number 11 is a game. Again, you don't need to buy every single expansion to have fun with it. You could just buy the base game, but I would say don't just buy the base game. Buy a base game and one of the expansions. I have 2 expansions with the base game, and it's a deck building game, and it should be no shock horror for you that it's better than the other one, the Thunderstone one. Why is it better? For me, it's easier to get to the table. There's less explaining to be done because the theme is pretty thin in comparison to the Thunderstone. Thunderstone is a lot more complex. You have to look at a lot more cards. Whereas this, it's a set 10 card scenario each time, and it's just a race to get those points. It is fun, it is quick, it is easy. I love shuffling, and every day I'm shuffling. This game is just fantastic, and that's why it's my number 11. Can you believe it? Dominion is my number 11. Well, I am an average Joe. Yes, I'm an average Joe without Steve the Pirate. You know, Steve the Pirate? No? He goes, ha! No. Anyway, that's it for now. Now there are 10 games on my list which are better than all the ones that you've seen so far. And half of them are party, not half of them are party, half of them are very familiar family games. There's a couple on here which are a bit more hardcore, and there is a party game style on my list. So yes, there's another 10, my best 10. Stay tuned, it's coming soon. I've got editing and work to do. I've got to clean the toilet over there, and these guitars need tuning, so it's going to take me a while to get the videos out, but bear with me, they're coming. My top 10 out of 50 out of 100, 236 games out of the 600 games that I've played. Yes, 600? Yes, around 600.